All right. Now, the first thing I have to tell you is that I'm finishing all the subjects, all Saturday subjects. I'm going to finish on December 12th. So we have 2 weeks, 2 more weeks to finish the classes. And let me check here. Give me 1 second. Okay. Just one moment. All right. So we only have left, oh, my internet. All right, give me 1 second. Just give me a second here. Let me check the platform because I want to make sure. Phonetics. Just want to make sure. Yes. Okay, so far we are in lesson 5 and we are going to start lesson 6. But lesson 6 is very easy and very short. I will send you a questionnaire. You're going to have a questionnaire, sorry. You're going to have like 5 questions only, but it's very easy. Now, we have, remember, 2 weeks left. So on the 12th, we are giving the exam, which means that we have short time. I see, as I can see here, you guys, I'm not gonna say the majority, many people have problems with the exam because you got confused, right? With the names of the grammatical names of the words, and also you got confused in knowing what is content and what is function, because those were the main topics in the exam. And I told you, for you to know that, you have to go back to lesson 4 and study what content word includes and what function word includes. I'm not going back. You will have to study because that is coming for the exam, for the final one, although it is on December 12th. Now, I want to ask a few questions to you, Leandro and Olaini. And what is the type of intonation that we have seen so far? What is the type of intonation? See if you remember. Not the tone, because the tones are 4. The tones are normal, high, extra high, and low. But the type of intonation that we saw in chapter 5, what is the name of it? Go on, Leandro.
Teacher, I'm not sure, but is rising and falling?
That's right. Rising, falling intonation. Okay, that's the type of intonation. And before we go to chapter 6, because I'm gonna talk about that today, but before we go there, we need to know what we saw in chapter 5. So we saw the rising, rising, falling intonation. That's what we saw. Okay, now we need to know what are the sentences that take rising, falling intonation. Do you remember the type of sentences that take the rising, falling intonation? There are 3 types, okay? Can you tell us one, Leandro?
WH question.
Okay, so the sentences that are questions that start with the WH word, okay? So WH questions are the ones that have rising falling intonation. Also, I have to tell you that the WH questions, they have another name, okay? And the other name they have is information request questions, all right? That's the other name that they have. Why they call it like that? Because when a person asks something with a WH question, you need to give information. What's your name? My name is Alberto. You are giving information. Where are you? I am in the countryside. You are giving information. Okay. Why are you here? Because I want to talk to you. You see, whenever you ask a question with a WH, you have to give information. And that's right. They are called information request questions also. Then another type of sentences that take the rising falling intonation. Do you remember the other types? Okay. Oh, okay, Leandro, I see you are the only one who remembers, so you can say the two of
Okay, teacher. Commands.
uh-huh. And commands, they have a synonym. What is another word that you can use instead of commands? There is another one, and that's a grammar, the imperative. You see? So the imperative is, I'm back again. Jesus. All right, so I'm here. I'm back.
Okay, teacher. I was
Internet.
saying that
Yeah.
commands and statements.
Okay, good. So we have commands. Commands are also the imperative, and we also have the statements. Statements is whatever you say in this case, okay? In this case, a statement is whatever you say that is not a question, okay? Whatever you say is not a question, is so, all right. Now, someone has, let me mute Albania. Okay, so now that you know that these are the ones that take the rising falling intonation, it is time for us to go further and see the following chapter. But before we go, I don't know if you can listen to me.
Yes.
All right, just give me one moment here.
Yes, teacher, I hear you.
Okay, very good. Uh, Before we go to the following lesson, I'm going to delete this, okay? I'm gonna erase it, and I'm going to give you one sentence. If I give you this sentence, in total we have 4 words. We have 4, okay? The question here is how many content and how many function we have. Okay, and I'm gonna do this very quick. I'm just gonna put 3 sentences before we go out of there. 3 sentences, and we will go to lesson 6 after these 3. Oops, what am I doing? So here you have it, okay? Here we have it. We have 3 sentences. Now you have to think about how many content and how many function words we have. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a few minutes, like I'll give you 3 minutes for you to think about that. So right now it's 2:19. At 2:22, I will start asking you. All right, it's 2:22 already. Let's see how many content and how many functions you have in the first sentence. If you don't know, you can guess. If any one of you knows, that means that you have to go back to chapter 4 and, and study. Go on, Leandro, you have the first one.
Okay, teacher. The first one we have one function word. No, two function word and two content words.
Okay, so 2 and 2, right?
Yeah,
I
is
I
function word.
is function and have is
That is the fun. Is making like a function word, like a auxiliary.
very good. And being
Is the verb in participle, past participle.
and here is
Here is a verb of a place.
place. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, very good. So we have 2 and 2. We have personal pronoun, we have auxiliary, we have verb, and we have adverb of place. Right. So then we have she is talking to your friend. How many contents and how many functions did you get there? If you don't even have an idea of how
Can I
many
say?
content, yeah, hold on, I'll give you the opportunity. But
Okay.
first, if you don't even have an idea of how many content and how many functions you have, I have to tell you that you're gonna have a whole topic of this one in the final exam that is coming on December 12th. So get ready. Yes, go on, Leandro.
Okay, teacher. In that one, we have one, two, three function words and three content words.
Okay, so she is,
Function word.
and two is,
It's a function word, it's a particle.
okay, and your,
Your is no, it's not a function word.
are you sure? Your is what?
Yes, teacher, it's a function word.
Okay, because your is a possessive adjective. Okay, so is a verb. Oh, but give me a second here, Leandro. So we have function, function, and function. And what about is?
Is a function, it's auxiliary.
So how
Two,
many functions do you have?
four. I got
Oh, okay. So four function and two.
content words, yeah.
All right, very good. What do you have on the number three then?
Okay, teacher. In that we have uh one, two, two, three, two content words and two function words.
Okay, let's see. That function
Is
or content?
is a demonstrative pronoun content word.
Okay, is.
Auxiliary.
Why? How do you know that that is a demonstrative? How do you know?
Is SAS like demonstrating something.
Okay. You know that is content because you see the verb in front of it.
Yeah, because it can be relative when it's in the middle.
Ah, so is an auxiliary then.
Yeah, teacher
Be-
is an auxiliary, I think.
But I don't see any other verb. Remember that an auxiliary is used when you have two verbs together. Look, have is a verb and being is a verb. So one has to be an auxiliary. Then we have is a verb and talking is a verb. So that means that one of them is an auxiliary. And here we don't have another verb. We only have one.
Okay, I understand now.
So is the verb there. And and it is content word because you say that this is a demonstrative. So
Yeah.
for you to have a demonstrative, you need to have a verb after the demonstrative. Then it's not a demonstrative if there is not a verb in front of it here.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically we have three content.
And one.
There you go. That's what it is. All right. Now, this was a quick preview of content and function words because you guys, all of you, the
Give
majority,
me a moment, teacher.
because the majority of you had
Okay.
problems with that topic on the exam. So you didn't know how many content, how many function there were in a sentence. But anyways, now we're going to go to lessons number 6, and this is rising intonation, okay? And I want you to see the difference between rising, falling. I want you to see the difference between rising, falling, and rising, okay? So lesson 5 was rising, falling, okay? I'm gonna put RF in there. You know that that is rising, falling, intonation, okay? Now, let me tell you one thing. Rising, falling means that in the sentence, the tones have to go up and have to go down. Maybe you don't know what I'm talking about. Let me give you one example here. One example. When you say, I love you, right? I love you. Is this one has rising falling intonation? What do you think? What type of sentence is this? Is this a question? Is this an affirmation? Is this a statement? Is this a command? What type of sentence is it? I love you.
Can I say
Go on. It seems that you are the only student in this class. Go on, don't worry.
statement, teacher?
That's a
Yeah.
statement, and statements have rising or rising falling.
Rising and falling, statement has.
Rising falling. So what I do, sorry, I mark the tones on this one like that. Why do I do it like that? Because rising means to go up, right? So this tone that you see here is the high tone. High tone goes up, right? Above the word, as you can see. Then this tone that I have right here, that one, is the low tone. So low tone is down, falling. You see, rising, high, falling, low. So when you go from high tone to low tone, you are working with a rising, falling intonation. All right. So I want you to see that. That's what it means, rising, falling. Go up and go down. High tone and low tone. Rising, falling. Okay. Now, any sentence, as you said, any statement, any command, any WH question, go with a rising, falling. Okay. Now, which are the ones that go with rising intonation? That's the question. Let me tell you, the sentences that have rising, falling intonation are questions. And the questions are the ones that can be answered with a yes or a no. So I'm going to erase this. All right, let me erase this in a second. Let me take this away, and I'm gonna take this away too, and I'm gonna keep this one here in the middle. Okay. Now, rising intonation. How do you know that a sentence has rising intonation? Very easy. If it is a question that doesn't start with WH. Can you tell me a question, any one of you, that doesn't have a WH word at the beginning? One question that has not WH.
Me, teacher.
Yes, go on.
Maybe how are you?
How are you? Okay, this one is tricky, okay? Because that one is a WH. Because you have a W and you have an H in how. So how belongs to the WH.
Okay.
Right. And another reason why it doesn't qualify is because you cannot answer that question with a yes or a no. Because if a person says or asks you, how are you? You cannot say yes, and you cannot say no. You need to say information. So that's an information request question. Keep thinking, keep thinking. A question that you can ask without putting a WH word.
Me, teacher.
Go on, yes.
Do you do your homework?
Okay. Do you do your homework? Okay. Yes, that is one. Very good. Anyone else has another question without a WH?
Me, teacher.
Yes.
Are you in your house?
Okay. Are you in your house? Yes. That's another. Very good. Keep asking. Keep asking. We have more questions. Look at the initial word. What type of word is that grammatically? Check. Do, are. We have more questions. Albania?
Does you love me?
Oh, okay. Well, does she love me? Yes, that's another one. Leandro, what do you say?
May you call me early?
Okay. May you call me early. See? And then you're gonna see that, for example, you can use have. Have you been here? Has she done it? You can use could. Could you tell me the truth? Should I go there? Must I tell you the truth? You see? And you have, how do you call these words? What is the grammatical name for those words? For those? For do, for should, for could, for must. What is the grammatical name for that? Leandro, do you know?
Yes, teacher. Auxiliary.
That's right. So look, guys, whenever you ask a question with auxiliaries, okay, with auxiliaries, those are the sentences that have the rising intonation. Only them, okay? So look, the easiest way for you to learn this is if you have a question and the question starts with an auxiliary, or the question can be answered with a yes or a no, that has rising intonation. If not, all the rest have rising falling. That's the easiest way to learn it. Okay? Because look, do you do your homework? Yes, no. Are you in your house? Yes, no. Does she love me? Yes, no. May you call me early? You know what? No. You see? So all these questions can be answered with a yes or a no. And that's what lets you know that they have rising intonation. If rising falling is to go up and to go down, then rising intonation is to go up only. Okay? Let me give you, I'm gonna show you how I mark the tones in one of these sentences. I'm gonna mark it here. Okay, so let me mark it. You see, what is this tone? Is this normal, low, high, extra high? What tone is that one here? When the line is just above the word, what is the name for that tone?
Normal.
Are you sure? Normal is when it's just right under. You see,
Okay.
that's the normal. Normal
Hi.
one. What was it?
Hi.
The
Hi.
high tone, yes. Okay, so here you can see uh, how from the normal tone, I went to the high tone and it kept like that. It didn't change. That's what we call rising intonation. When you give the high tone and you continue high until the end. Maybe you're gonna say, okay, but how do you know where to put the high tone and where to put the low tone? Well, the first thing that you need to know is, give me a second, guys. Someone calling me. The first thing you need to know is the sentence that you have. Does it take the rising falling or does it take the rising intonation? That is the first step before you start marking the tones in a sentence. You have to identify if it has rising falling or if it has rising intonation. The only way that you can do it is learning that rising intonation only includes questions that can be answered with a yes or a no. I mean, questions that are formed with auxiliaries. If you know that, then the other sentences will take the rising falling, obviously, right? So that's what it is. And that's how it is. So far we have seen that rising falling means to go up and to go down. Okay, to go up is high tone and to go down is low tone. We also, Jesus, this telephone, what's going on? We also learned that rising intonation means to go up all the time, okay? And up is high tone, all right? So that's what we have seen so far. We also discovered that the WH questions, the commands, and the statements belong to the rising falling. And we also learned that the yes, no questions belong to the rising intonation. You see, that's what it is. Now I'm going to stop talking and I'm gonna let you ask any question if you have any. Because you normally don't have questions. I don't know why, but that's okay. So if you have a question, ask now before we finish. Wow, you have no questions? Okay. Well, guys, so then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to upload right now. I'm going to do it when we finish. I'm going to upload the homework from this lesson. The homework is 5 questions that you're going to have. You will have to answer. And then next week, what we are going to do is we are going to talk about how you mark the tones. We're going to have a short, not a short, we're going to have an exercise of marking the tones. And after that, we will have the final exam. I'm just telling you what is coming next, okay? So the final exam is the 12th. Don't miss it, because if you miss it, you will repeat phonetics. There are no chances for anyone. And that's it. That's it.
All right, teacher.
Okay, so I will see you later then. Take care.
Goodbye.